The Bible has a repeating pattern, like an echo. It is a reflection of its source, the source being Jesus. Music, like the one in this video, is a repeating pattern played over and over. The words of God are like music in that it is woven together in a pattern to paint a larger picture. Jesus is the source of living water and the light. In this way, Jesus is the pure white light being split up into an array of colors, each color being an echo of Christ in the Bible. Abraham and Isaac would be one color, and Jonah would be another. A feast, new moon, or Sabbath. These are a shadow of the things to come, but the body that casts it belongs to Christ. Christ is the body, and throughout the Bible, there are different shadows of him. The shadow of a 3D object appears different when cast onto a surface, and varies depending on the orientation of the object. God is speaking of the same object, but from different perspectives. Jesus in the New Testament repeats his parables from different perspectives. You can see this was like the wedding feast and other places. But here's an example I'm going to use. It's the parable of the mustard seed and the leaven in Matthew chapter 13. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 31, it says, "He put another parable before them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches." And then he tells it from a different perspective. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour till it was all leaven. So he's just saying the same thing from a different perspective. Hebrews chapter 5 details what the milk and the meat is. The meat is a study of this Old Testament story called Melchizedek and how it reflects Christ. But then Paul explains in Hebrews chapter 5:11, "About this we have much to say, and it is hard to explain, since you have become dull of hearing." That particular church had not studied the word enough, and in Isaiah chapter 5 it says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." So understanding the word in this way and understanding the pattern of the word is very important. And he says, "For everyone who lives on milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, since he is a child. Solid food is for the mature, for those who have their powers of discernment trained by constant practice to distinguish good from evil." The verse I find most interesting is verse 11. It says, "About this we have much to say, and it is hard to explain, since you have become dull of hearing." This Melchizedek story is more than just what Paul is explaining in Hebrews. It's beyond that. And the part where it says they have become dull of hearing, I mean, how many churches talk about the types in the Old Testament? I don't think hardly any of them emphasize that. I don't think people are skilled in the word of righteousness at all. So that really tells you where the church is at.